When authorities pulled the body of a Baylor basketball player from a remote gravel pit, they expected merely a homicide. What was uncovered instead was a conspiracy. The discovery ignited an investigation that exposed a sweeping web of lies and corruption in Southern Baptist country.
911, what's your emergency? Suspect is armed and dangerous. I repeat, the suspect is armed and dangerous.
This is the Signal 51 Chronicles, Episode 4, Murder at Baylor. Thou shalt not kill. Good afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you're taking this all in. I'm John Henry. I'm joined here by my compadre, Jake White, and welcome back to the Signal 51 Chronicles. This is the fourth episode, I think, of the reincarnation of the Signal 51 Chronicles. And for those of you who have been with us since the beginning, you know what Signal 51 means. Signal 51 is police code for investigation. We dig into stories mostly in DFW, but we will probably venture out. Real cases, real people, and crazy twists that you swear were fiction. In that producer's chair over there on the other side of me is our dear Ashley.
Hello, friends.
A notable alum of TCU.
We're from Bazoo, baby.
That's right. Here in Fort Worth, she's celebrating the TCU soccer's advance to the Final Four.
It's awesome.
You were a soccer player there.
I was. 2010 to 2012.
Dominated?
No, we sucked. There's a reason that Eric got the program. Because we were terrible.
But what that means is that you guys were on the ground floor. You were the beginning of...
We were Eric's first spring season here.
Of this.
Mm-hmm. He's done amazing stuff with that program. It's been awesome.
He has done a great job. Last year they went to... NCAA first round or second round or something?
I think they went to Sweet 16, maybe they
Yeah,
eight.
Sounds right. Now, we also learned this week, Jake, that Ashley is a do-it-yourself home improvement pro.
Oh, have y'all been watching my videos?
She was
the Chronicles of the
of my house move, my moved house.
Yeah. You got a new house, I guess. And
so I moved it.
You're tearing
Austin.
up the bathroom.
So I moved the house from Austin to Granbury.
Oh, you picked it up.
Mm-hmm. I moved it, and so it got here, and it's well intact, and I could have lived in it, but decided instead to go and reno the bathroom and the kitchen, and everything's renovated or everything's demoed. So the bathroom's done, the kitchen's done, and then I'm tearing out sheetrock in the back because I found a leak yesterday.
Hey, any surprises on the demo?
Yeah, I have the leak, but I have the original shiplap and the original hardwood floors throughout the entire house.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've done the bathroom and the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm done. I just was recording while I went, and now I'm editing.
You did this yourself?
Yeah.
All by yourself?
My dad and my mom helped, and then we had they work with the volunteer fire department. My parents do, or my dad does, and one of his friends picked up some stuff from my house, was taking it to go put it in his house, and decided to come back and help us. Y'all will see him soon on my videos.
Wow. Jake, tell us about your most recent do-it-yourself home improvement project.
0.
Oh, yeah, no, my mom.
I'm not talking about recent. I mean, just any.
Oh, I do 0 do-it-yourself projects. 0.
We are the do-it-yourself family. My mom is very crafty, and my dad hates it. My dad always gets drug into something.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not a handyman either. I was raised to be an academic, and I failed at that too. So I became a journalist.
I mean, I feel like that's academic.
Yeah, that's academic.
I don't know about that. All right. Well, we'll look for our invitation to the
my housewarming party.
Housewarming party. Yeah.
Did y'all get the invitation to the Christmas party?
We did. Yeah.
Perfect. And y'all are on Mike's show this week.
And we're on Mike's show this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing this.
I mean, people are going to see this a month after, but y'all are on Mike's show this week.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So yeah, so we have restarted the Signal 51 through Mike Reiner's Sunset Lounge
DFW. Yeah.
DFW.
Yep. Sunset Lounge DFW.
Yep. We will be on that show. Of course, you won't see this episode for another
Till January.
But we're picking up on the first show will air on
Monday, December 1st. Yeah.
Monday, December 1st. So you will, by the time you see this, you will be 3 episodes in.
Yeah. That's okay, though. They'll get over it.
And they will get over it.
They'll get over it.
We all get over it.
It gives us time to make sure that we can edit correctly.
That's right. So, yeah, we don't do any do-it-yourself home improvement projects.
come to my house.
We do the Signal 51 Chronicles is what we do.
I was going to say, y'all can always come to my house. I have a job for you. I can make a job for you.
And
I could screw up a demo job. I'm that bad at that stuff.
just tearing stuff
Like,
up.
So,
Yeah.
fun fact, when I was in high school, a friend of ours owned a construction company. So I would go and, like, when I wasn't playing soccer, I would go and hang out with them and go demo houses. Who would have thought I would be doing it in my actual home ownership life?
It's
Good lesson you learned there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'd take off
Lifelong skill.
popcorn ceilings, sledgehammer walls. It was fun. We
Absolutely.
had a blast.
So this Signal 51 thing that we've been doing for a few years, took a break, come back. Where did it all start? Started at a bar, of course. Oscar's Pub on Camp Bowie Boulevard,
6333.
6334. 63, I don't know.
6300 block.
6300 block of Camp Bowie. Jake here is a retired Fort Worth police sergeant. He has great stories to tell. I am the editor of Fort Worth Inc., the executive editor of Fort Worth Inc. magazine, down the street from Oscar's at Camp Bowie. It's very handy that it's down the street there. You get there when times of need. Fort Worth Inc. is a business lifestyle magazine, and it's one of 2 titles at Panther City Media, the monthly Fort Worth magazine being the other. So Jake and I were sitting at the bar one night, and we decided we should combine our 2 expertises, his in police work, mine in storytelling. And we said he's got his own great stories, as I mentioned, and we'll get into some of those at some point in time. But we decided we should do a podcast. And here we are at an undisclosed location in Fort Worth, Texas.
Undisclosed.
Exactly.
Well prepared to do this.
We are.
Unlike some of the other stories.
We are prepared.
Yeah.
Don't sell this too high. I don't know how prepared we're to do this, but yes,
We're
we are.
clear-headed, if you will.
Exactly. So I will sit here with my Coke Zero, and Jake will probably have a dip of Copenhagen in his mouth and
And a Coke Zero.
a Coke Zero. Yeah. And we'll discuss police work. All right. You ready to go to the police blotter?
Let's do it.
Got a good one today. It was a hot story back in the day. I was actually not part of this story, but I wrote the story. I once covered the city of Fort Worth covered City Hall for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram.
Remember, you were a source on Wikipedia when I was looking it up.
I was a source on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Henry, John.
You know you've made it. You know you've made it.
You've
when you're
made
on
it,
Wikipedia.
buddy.
So the dateline here is Fort Worth, March 2011. By my recollection, that would be a couple of months, 6 weeks or so before the city council elections. Mm-hmm. A candidate for city council contends that a minor traffic citation he received 3 weeks ago downtown was politically motivated. Allegation that Fort Worth police deny. Paul Rudisil, who's running against District 2 incumbent Sal Espino, said he was ticketed for unnecessary use of a car horn only after a police officer on bike patrol realized he was a council candidate and not one, he says, that the Fort Worth Police Officers Association was supporting at the time. Mr. Rudisil, who I'd run into before this, I would call him a pistol. I got in trouble for calling somebody a rabble rouser last week.
Yeah, you did.
And Paul Rudisil was a rabble rouser. Hot head.
Okay.
He says, quote, "This is typical politics being played in the police department." Who added that he pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial to contest this miscarriage of justice. Quote, "He looked down at the political advertisement on my car and said, 'Since you are running for city council, you should know better,' and that he will be ticketing me." Police denied this claim immediately. Rudisil allegedly said to the police, quote, "I will have your pension under my microscope." According to the police report, Rudisil, who was behind the lead car, stopped at an intersection, became upset that 5 bicycle officers, we're in Sundance Square, mind you, 5 bicycle officers crossed in front of traffic when the light turned green to assist another officer at 5th and Main Street. So he's trying to get across, or these cops are trying to get across to help somebody. Officer P.J. Reinhardt, who wrote up the report. You're familiar with Officer Reinhardt.
The name, yeah.
Is he still with it? He's probably long retired.
I don't know.
Anyway, he pulled up next to Rudisil's car and told him to, quote, "calm down." Rudisil rolled down his window and yelled at a very angry voice at the officer how the officers cut across traffic, the report stated. Rudisil said that he merely used his horn to, quote, "warn officers that he had a green light so that he would not hit them."
Wait, back that up?
This is what he told me.
Okay.
That he used his horn to, quote, "warn officers that he had a green light so that he wouldn't hit them."
Oh, okay.
He just kind of beeped his,
Yeah, I'm sure. Just a light, short beep. I'm
tapped
sure.
his horn. According to the report, Rudisil is quoted as saying, "I'll have you know I'm not one of those who's pro-police." While telling another officer who replied, the other officer replied, you are making that quite obvious, Mr. Rudisil." State law specifies that motorists shall use a horn to provide audible warning only when necessary to ensure safe operation. The city's retirement system at the time was a looming campaign issue for council and mayoral candidates. The city staff has said the system has had an unfunded liability of more than $700 million. The council at the time was set to vote on modifying the formula that sets retirement benefits for new general fund employees. And of course, the pension still is a hot topic when police and firefighters contracts are renegotiated, and they've been renegotiated. How long do those things last? 10 years?
The contract?
Yeah,
4.
4 years.
4 or 5.
So they've renegotiated 4 times since then. The POA responded to this, and they said, quote, "It's unfortunate that Mr. Rudisil chose to use his candidacy as a platform to bully the very people that have made this city a safe place to live. If he is willing to make decisions such as this based on his limited perspective of reality as a candidate, we cannot afford to see what he will do as an actual elected official." I believe Rick Van Houten was the president during those days.
Okay.
The POA had always supported Rudisil's candidate, Sal Espino, in the District 2 north side of Fort Worth, and at the time it was north of 820. It's since been redistricted, so it's not all of north of 820, but some of north of 820.
Stockyards. area.
The Stockyards area for sure. Yeah, that's where it is certainly now. Paul Rudisil argued his case on social media. The issue is very simple, Mr. Rudisil wrote on Facebook. 5 bike officers had nothing better to do than congregate on the street corner.
Just waiting for him.
Exactly. The light changed green, and the car in front must not have known, and I tapped the horn. Now, when I spoke to him, he Rudisil denied that he yelled at police officers, even though I've seen him yell several times,
Okay.
just
Not out of character is what you're describing.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
First time I saw him was at some sort of town hall, and he marched up to his microphone like any good activist, and he, shouted,
Just started screaming.
yeah, just very sternly started, screaming. But he did say his speech was direct. Didn't yell, but it was direct. And Rudisil's finished by saying, the officer conducted himself professionally, and I said, I guess we'll take this up in court. You ever had a run-in, or not a run-in necessarily, but had any type of encounter with an elected official,
No.
candidate?
No. None whatsoever. These stories, they're kind of humorous in the sense that I strongly doubt that officer had any clue who he was. Most cops by nature are not overly political.
Well, they're political from the standpoint of their own interests, right?
Like anyone.
A pension,
Sure. Like anyone.
pay.
But when it comes
Time
down
off.
to city elections, no.
Well, he claims that, they saw that he had a Paul Rudisil for city council sticker on his car, probably magnet thing plastered on the side of it. But
I would be willing to bet that if we had that officer here right now, at the time he would have no clue who Paul Rudisil was, nor
what he stood for.
not at all what he stood for. So I have the odds of that being politically motivated are ridiculous. And Rudisil, he embodies this concept where people get so pissed when the police enforce the law, right?
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes they are minor infractions.
I get a ticket, I'm pissed.
Right.
Usually I'll be like, well, I was speeding or whatever. But, it's kind of like, you have something better to do than...
Well, same thing. Go scream to your legislators. Don't scream at the cops. The cops didn't write the laws. If you don't like that it's a law in the book, then elect someone who will repeal that law.
Repeal speeding.
Hey, well, that's what I'm saying. Don't complain about it.
So anyway, so and you never know, the guy might be elected. If you see, that he could have influence over your career. So you're not
Could
going
have
to
just revoked that pension altogether.
you're not going to piss him off
Well,
intentionally. The police,
Did you get to the end of it?
yeah,
So, he didn't get elected, right?
he did not get elected. No,
I wonder what the outcome of his
he was
traffic violation was.
I don't know. He was roundly defeated by Mr. Espino. Good guy, Sal Espino. District 2, by the way, now represented by Mr. Carlos Flores.
Yeah.
Proud graduate of Nolan High School.
Okay.
And then, as far as I know, that was Paul Rudisil's only step into public life. I doubt he probably got so mad he sold his house and
Moved out of Fort Worth.
moved out of Fort Worth.
Moved to Aledo.
Probably so. Who's not moving to Aledo?
Well, he's a quitter then. I like the ones who just keep going and going.
There's a bunch of those.
Oh, man.
We need to talk about that one of these days.
Yeah, those are pretty funny.
Oh man, they're there. They're there every year. They're perennial candidates. All right, we ready to get into
Let's do this.
tragic case.
not too far from here.
in Waco in 2003. We were talking, of course, about the world's largest Baptist university and the period of dread that it suffered the first time, because we know Baylor has, since 2003, has undergone another terrible scandal. But it probably wasn't as bad as this one. The Art Briles and the
I don't know. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, they're both pretty
they're
heinous.
both
They're
bad.
both pretty terrible.
They're both bad. But in 2003, the nearby Brazos was overfilling with the filth of the most vile sins of mankind. And instead of molding ambassadors of the Christian Messiah, the 100 and I don't know how old it is now, 180-year-old, 185-year-old institution was devoid in many ways of the gospel of Christ. What happened there was indeed the worst possible scenario. Before the Penn State scandal emerged, before the second Baylor scandal, there was this Baylor scandal. It's now been 22 years since the school's lowest moment, perhaps the most notorious moment in all of college athletics of all time, even to this day. A basketball player was shot dead, execution style, by a former teammate and left to decompose in a gravel pit for more than a month before he was found. The story was everywhere nationwide, coast to coast, on every national network. Their coach, we'll learn about him in a little bit, even as he attended the funeral in California of his deceased player, was scheming to keep hidden a deep secret that would end his career. There simply was no dignity in life or death, no angels, only sinners. There were no believers, only doubters. As the good book of Ephesians instructs, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. The New Testament describes 6 dreams of Joseph. You're aware of Joseph, the mother of Mary, the mother of God. Each communicated knowledge, instruction, and warnings. The ultimate message, do not be afraid. Now, who knows if Abar Rouse's dream, a nightmare, was divinely inspired or merely the result of his circumstances? But through them, he resolved to do what was right, to do so knowing that his career and livelihood would be in peril. I spoke to Rouse several years ago. Abar Rouse. He's a fantastic individual. And he told me I had a nightmare while this was going on. He was then just in the first few months as coach at Baylor. And that nightmare, he said, was clarified everything for me. He said, I don't have nightmares, but here's Patrick and Carlton showing up in my dreams. What became known as the Baylor basketball scandal took on 3 angles. A player was murdered. A coach tried to bury the truth behind a slander. And a young assistant, Abar Rouse, was placed in an impossible situation, and he chose truth over his career. In the end, the scandal didn't hinge on the murderer's instability or the NCAA's punishments that followed, or the layers of institutional failure. It hinged on one man pressing a record button because he understood something no rule book needed to tell him. You don't lie about a murdered kid. You don't let a grieving family watch their son's name be dragged into the mud. And you don't trade integrity for a win-loss record. Our society tends to focus on the sensational, the killing, the cover-up, the courtroom. But the real heart of the Baylor scandal lies in a quieter moment. It's a 28-year-old coach sitting at home, alone, and in his car, holding a small recorder, knowing that he was about to cross the point of no return. He could protect his job, or he could protect the truth. He chose the truth, and it cost him everything.
During the summer of 1856, the annual Union Baptist Association was presented a report on the status of the fledgling Baylor University, then just a little more than 10 years old after its charter in 1845. As quoted, the professors and teachers continue to command the public confidence in a very high degree, with healthy tone of moral feeling that has pervaded the entire institution. That was written by one of the founders in the early days. It was a reputation that only grew as generations passed and was no doubt a big reason why Patrick Dennehy and his parents decided Baylor was the place to continue a promising career with NBA prospects. Dennehy had transferred from New Mexico and set out the 2002-2003 season under the NCAA transfer rules.
Those have changed.
Yeah, that's a lot different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Carlton Dotson, too, had wandered a bit to start his college career. It's a typical journey for many. After his senior year at North Dorchester High School in Hurlock, Maryland, Dotson played a season at Buffalo before transferring to Paris Junior College in Texas. The 2002-2003 season marked his first at Baylor. He was a junior forward. His experience as a junior transfer was typical too. Learning a new system takes time. He was at times frustrated while averaging 4.4 points in 28 games. Quote, "He was competitive and he played hard," said Tommy Swanson, a former star at North Crowley who was a freshman in 2002-2003, but in the same recruiting class as transfers Dotson and Dennehy. Just like the rest of us, he wanted the team to do well. Patrick as well. We were stacked with talent. Said Matt Saman, who played at Baylor from 2000 to 2004 and wrote a book about the episode titled The Leftovers. Quote, "Patrick was an unbelievable talent, and we all saw that when he came on board. He would help us. They were both great. I really enjoyed playing with Dottie."
So in 2002-2003, the Bears were going to be pretty stacked, returning a number of key players to a team that the year before went 14-14. Average, but they got better as the year went on. In addition to Dennehy becoming eligible, junior college transfer Harvey Thomas gave Baylor its best hopes for an NCAA tournament berth since last making the tournament in 1988. And of course, the tournament is the promised land for Division I basketball teams. Dennehy and Dotson were buddies, even sharing an apartment for a time. A person who was close to the program told me at the time that a relative of Dotson's had alerted a coach about the player's mental stability. Dotson appeared delusional at times, saying he heard voices. Soon after that, Dennehy reported that he felt threatened, said this source, though he was vague about specifics of the perceived danger. Whatever it was, both Dennehy and Dotson bought guns out of fear for their safety. Said Tommy Swanson, our guy from North Crowley, "With every team, you have different personalities. You're not going to click with everyone. I had a working relationship with everyone." Tommy Swanson also told me that never did he feel unsafe at Baylor. So on the week of June 16, 2003, Dennehy vanished. 3 days later, his stepfather filed a missing persons report with the Waco police. Said Tommy Swanson, quote, "We were bewildered not knowing what happened. Teammates and I were learning everything as things were reported on the news. We were kept in the dark as much as anyone else."
Dennehy's whereabouts were anybody's guess. Some teammates figured that he, like many college students, extended a weekend trip. They were said to have been payments made to Dennehy's AAU coach, a common back alley corruption in the college game, certainly back then, and some that weren't made. Some coaches feared the AAU coach had stashed him away, literally holding him hostage until another payment was issued. The worst fears were beginning to take root, however. When Dennehy's 1996 Chevrolet Tahoe was found without a license plate in a strip mall parking lot in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Searches for any sign of him proved fruitless. A gun was found outside of the apartment of Harvey Thomas, the player who allegedly made the threats against Dennehy, though police cleared Thomas of any suspicion. Quote, "Nobody knew," Rouse said. "I'm following the lead of the other coaches who had been there. As soon as that missing persons report was filed by his parents, it obviously took on a greater importance. It was clear that something was amiss."
Let's discuss some things here from the perspective of a retired police sergeant. Now, keep in mind, never were a homicide investigator, but so let's say when you hear that a college athlete has been reported missing, what typically would be the first investigative steps that law enforcement might take?
Well, it's different now than then, right? Technology's advanced at a crazy level compared to 2003. Obviously first you're gonna talk to as many people as you possibly can to see, is there something afoul? I think, like they mentioned,
You're going to talk to all the players,
coaches, friends, the list goes on to see, right? That's back then. Now, obviously you got social media pages you can look at. You've got text messages between, the players, friends, etc.
Well, and they found his car in Virginia, right? So almost certainly there was probably a camera wherever that car was left on a street.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That brings up that's entirely different now.
All right, well, go ahead.
There's a lot more value.
Sorry for blowing up.
No, you're fine. Would you like to think that it's just like any other missing person? Yeah. Is it? No. He's a D1 college basketball player at a huge school.
So there's going to be news coverage of this.
There's going to be news coverage.
Immediately.
Frankly, there's probably going to be, more resources invested into finding it, because what happens, obviously, no city wants bad coverage. This is going to get national coverage almost immediately, much like it did.
So there's a kind of a political angle
There's
to
going to
it.
be a political spin to it, for sure. So, like I said, back then, what are you doing? Really, back then, it was a sit and wait game, right? Like I said, technology is not where it is at now. You're putting out bulletins, if you will.
Social media. There was no real social media then at all.
Social media back then. There's really no way to, outside of news coverage, there's no way to really get the story out there. So really, it's kind of a sit and wait game. You're waiting for the body, dead or alive.
And it's also it's also like 3 days. Wait, 3 days since since he was last seen. So, like I said, there were some speculation that maybe an AAU coach was hiding him away, waiting for a payment from the basketball program or someone affiliated with the basketball program, which is a common occurrence, or certainly back then. Those rules have changed too now that players can
It's a
actually.
wild twist, though, to kidnap somebody awaiting a payment.
Yeah, just kind of saying, stay at the house for a couple days and see what
Yeah, I
happens.
suppose so.
But anyway, that was a possibility. So the vehicle turns up across the country. I don't know how many miles that is, thousands of miles, 1,500 miles away at least. The vehicle turns up with no license plates. So from your investigator's perspective, what does that discovery suggest? Panic planning, both? Who's from there? Would be the one.
Yeah, there's the why there, right? There's a whole slew of things that are going to go into why was it found there. You're trying to put that story together. But again, now you take a car from Waco, Texas to Virginia Beach, Virginia. You're going to be captured on license plate readers, hundreds, if not thousands of them in that commute.
Yeah.
Right? So they're going to know, like the difference now. So if Dad reports it January 19th, one of the first things they're going to do, the company that the biggest one is Flock, right? They're the ones that have most of the license plate recognition cameras. They're immediately, that's going to be, that's probably the first resource that the police check. And they're going to know within moments, minutes, maybe hours of Dad reporting him missing. Okay, it hit on I-35 in Hillsboro. It hit, just trying to take a path. It hit somewhere in Arkansas. It hit somewhere in Tennessee, over and over and over. And you're going to have time-stamped images of the license plate of the vehicle. So at that point, they're going to know. They're going to have a really good trail of when the car left Waco and when it got to Virginia.
So talk about that, the flock and the cameras and everything else. How are those? It catches an image. How does the Waco police get that picture, that information of where it is? Are they
Their
read
own database.
They're read, so they just go to a database and see,
Yeah.
put a license plate in, and they can tell where it was.
It's going to pull up, like I said, an image of the license plate and an image of the vehicle.
So they also, these threats that the guys claim they were getting, Dennehy and Dotson both said that they felt unsafe. That they might need to feel unsafe. Let's put it that way. That they believe they might have been in danger. So how would investigators corroborate threats of that kind?
I mean, I think that's hard because it's just those two reporting it, right? I mean, how many's on a D1 NCAA basketball roster? How many players? 15?
Yeah,
Somewhere around there,
15,
right?
Walk on, something like that.
I mean, why just those two? You would think that if there was something,
Yeah, and Tommy Swanson said he didn't have the same feelings of being unsafe.
and none of the other players really said, hey, these guys are constantly complaining about this, right?
Nope.
So I don't know. I mean, that one's a little, that's kind of post crime, if you will. That story coming out. Some a little bit suspect of the validity of that. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen or whatever, but again, why those two, and why were they not talking about it a lot?
Now you yourself had sources within neighborhoods and communities, stuff like that. You might possibly talk to them, but hey, do you know anything about Baylor basketball at all?
Well, I mean, if there was a tie to them, for sure. I mean, that's the that's the value of informants, right?
Right.
I mean, if it's in a certain neighborhood, hey, what's going on? And typically, the good informants are going to know the twists and turns and what everyone's doing and what all the rumors are and what's fact, what's fiction. It'd be hard in a college basketball program because it's not really ripe for having an informant, right? Like, I mean, there's not much criminal behavior attached to the environment.
Typically. But say narcotics, because drugs are always somewhere in the thought of a situation even like this, right? And if you had a sergeant in narcotics, for example, and you were on this investigation, where that detective might come to the sergeant in narcotics and say, hey, ask around your source, your information.
Yeah, I mean, if there was
see if there's any tie at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there was some information pointing them to that particular sect or crime or involvement in the dope world, then yeah, I mean, we would definitely ask around then. But again, I mean, it's rare. I mean, we're not talking about run-of-the-mill people. Let's face it, right? I mean, they've excelled at a level. They're playing a sport at a D1 college. Frankly, I mean, their lifestyle is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Do we have environments where, we had one here a few years ago. It was, I don't remember the school they were at, but they were involved in a murder, and I don't even know if they were D1 athletes. They were football players. They shot and killed someone over at that apartment in East Fort Worth. We've had the scandal at our
Sounds like another case we need to dig into. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was a few years ago.
All right.
You know, they had the drug scandal at the very own D1 institution right here in Fort Worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you around for that one, Ashley?
Yeah, there was a couple soccer players that got tied up in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been
a
definitely
wild
her
story.
wheelhouse or time, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, like I said, these are not normal run-of-the-mill kids. Clearly, I did not play a D1 sport. Okay,
It wasn't for lack of wanting to.
or lack of confidence.
Right.
But I would think that their day, their semester, their school year as a whole is so structured, it would be hard to be tied up into something, into like entirely consumed by some seedy underworld, right? I mean, you have practice. I mean, there's a D1 athlete sitting at the end of the table.
Exactly.
Right? I mean-
Exactly. They certainly aren't dealing stuff. They, at the very least, they might be,
Wait, they were totally dealing at TCU though,
They
allegedly.
allegedly.
there's that whole thing. I mean,
I was actually, so not to get off topic, but I was there and like we were all at practice, didn't know what was going on. We were missing 4 players and we were like, where are they? Because we don't miss practice. It was bad.
So that was pre-NIL, so they needed spending money.
Yes.
we'll get into that in a little as this story
Getting paid under
plays
the
out.
table did not happen for some people.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll there's
We'll get
definitely
into
a topic for later conversation as this story advances.
No, but again, going back to verifying the threats, I mean, these are going to be hard threats to verify in most cases, right? I mean, especially in 2003. Because, frankly, like I said, if they hadn't been talking about it, if it's just them two, are they going to interview the rest of the team? Yes.
Yeah.
But if Dennehy and Dotson never shared any of these concerns with any of the rest of the team, which if they were true, they would have, I'm quite certain of that, they're going to be hard to verify. Now, but again, maybe they did share them, and maybe they were verified. I don't know.
Anyway, there was no good outcome here. A break in the case occurred when an informant in Delaware told law enforcement authorities that Carlton Dotson, who returned home to Maryland, told a relative that he had shot Dennehy during an argument while the two were shooting guns. On July 21st, Dotson was arrested in Maryland and charged with his teammate's murder. On July 25th of 2003, 5 weeks after he went missing, Dennehy's body was discovered off a road in Waco. He had been shot twice in the head, according to the autopsy report. So let's stop it right there. Join us next time for episode 5. Murder at Baylor, thou shalt not kill. See you next time.
Suspect is wanted and dangerous. I repeat, the suspect is wanted and dangerous.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.